Tom, welcome. So your approach, though, to the problems that these digital ad giants have created is a capitalist approach, even more than also calling for regulation, though you are calling for both. Explain.
That's exactly right. Look, a lot of us are concerned about the consequences or the negative effects of the government stepping in and overreaching and setting new regulations that undercut the value of the internet and the possibilities that businesses enjoy now to leverage data to grow their top lines. We also recognize, though, that companies like Meta have trampled on our privacy, and the drums are beating. It's not a passing fad. It's a potential extinction level event for Meta and other companies. So our approach here is to propose standards that help us get it right. We think there's a middle path that allows consumers to enjoy greater privacy and trust and security of their data, while again allowing businesses to collect data responsibly to grow their businesses.
Now, as we see today, Alphabet is doing very well, better than 30% top-line growth, led by the core search and advertising business. So, in a way, is your approach not bullish on these names, effectively arguing that their problems become growth markets in and of themselves?
That's exactly right. Look, I don't know if Meta is going to miss, meet, or exceed expectations. What I do know is that their profits are going to be gigantic, and it's going to be further evidence of the unbreakable market power that they've assembled. Now, look, we can disagree on the perils of concentration of power like this. The more fundamental problem is the costs that we've all incurred as companies like Facebook continue to assemble this kind of market power. It comes at the expense of trust and security and privacy. What animates a lot of the concern and excitement around crypto is as mentioned before the break, this idea of trust and security of data. A similar concern animates what a lot of us are doing now in the realm of privacy.
Hey, Tom, I wonder, of course, the consumer himself is not standing still. They are getting less trusting in big media and certainly technology, more sophisticated. I wonder, as we move in, say, to the metaverse and away from the classic news feed, are you optimistic that maybe the audience is a little more, I don't want to say jaded, but grounded on what they're seeing and hearing?
Well, I think certainly as more consumers move to the metaverse, I think the problems that we're seeing today will only be accentuated, right? We're going to see more of these troubles, not less of them. And I think that as more people spend more of their time in the metaverse, they're going to become increasingly concerned. Many consumers today would rather just trade off convenience for privacy, right? And Facebook and other companies have enjoyed the benefits of that trade-off. But I think you're right. As more people move to the metaverse, we're going to see more of these kinds of heightened awareness of the perils of data and how it's being used and how big companies, big tech, are abusing it.
Tom, what makes you think that users are going to, sacrifice convenience for that privacy? Is there an indication? I mean, when we look at sales of Oculus over the Christmas period or the holiday period, we saw that the downloads were, it was at the top of the App Store. So what indication do you have that this will actually hinder Meta's ambitions there?
Well, the first most important thing to take note of is just the mounting array of regulations now that have taken root in Europe with
But
GDPR.
That's from lawmakers, not users, right? And there's always been this disconnect.
No, and I think you're absolutely right. I think there is this kind of disparity between what the governments are trying to do now to protect the interests of their citizens and consumers, and more consumers definitely preferring that convenience to security. Look, I think certainly the majority of consumers are going to prefer to make that kind of trade-off. It's the 5 to 10 to 20%, right, who are making their voices heard and are saying, I'm not going to work with this kind of approach anymore. Those are the people who are taking action, and I think we need to be attentive to their concerns. That's what my colleagues and I in the Ethical Tech Project are taking seriously. We also see, I can tell you, because I run a privacy and data security company, we see a lot of our customers coming to us now and saying, look, I want to be the opposite of that. I want to demonstrate that I'm a great steward of my consumers' data. And so can you help me get this right? Can I deploy new standards, new tools to really responsibly collect and use consumer data, because I'm betting that in the long arc of things, that's going to be an enduring source of power for my company.